Bat fans. This is Batman.
And Robin, the Boy Wonder.
And me too, Batmite.
Welcoming you to the new adventures of Batman. Watch us wage our never-ending battle of good versus evil.
Ride with us as we chase the greatest array of villains the world has ever seen, proving that crime does not pay.
Get set for thrills and action. Join me, Batman.
And me, Robin the Boy Wonder.
And Batgirl. And me too, Batmite.
In the super new adventures of
Batman.
Welcome back, citizens, to an all-new episode of the Batcave podcast. It's your old bat chum, John S. Drew here. We're back in the Batcave, and we're talking Filmation 77. And, of course, in order to talk Filmation 77 Batman, I need our old chum here, the man who only wants to help, from Comic Book Central, Mr. Joe Stuber. Hey, Joe.
John, I am so happy to be recording with you after it seems like forever. I'm flying high like I've been slapped with some helium paint, my friend.
Oh man, the helium paint in this. I thought to myself, Batman has way too much time on his hand. But then I thought to myself, doesn't this kind of harken back to the 50s comics when Batman was inventing a lot of things too?
He's like a chemist too, right? Like he's not only the world's greatest detective, but there's I remember back in the day, there was always these things like he was a brilliant chemist, and he was a brilliant this, and he studied this. And so I guess, he would be making stuff. This one seems a little wonky, but again, it's the sensational 70s, anything goes.
Wonky, and yet will play a part. Chekhov's gun, if you're going to create helium paint, you better use it.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, we know it's got to be used at some point. Oh, look, they're following the rules, right? So give them credit, give them props for that.
Exactly, yeah. Now, the episode we're going to be talking about is He Who Laughs Last. It's a Joker story written by Arthur Nadell.
Yay. Well, first of all, I love that we're having a Joker story, so that's pretty cool. And then we talked about Arthur a bunch. He also wrote episode 5. That was the Bermuda Rectangle. Remember Professor Bubbles and Flo?
Yes.
So we got that one. If you missed that episode, go back and check it out. That was fun. But he also wrote and directed a ton of Filmation. I mean, come on. Shazam, ISIS, Fat Albert, Space Academy, Jason of Star Command. I need to revisit those shows at some point. Space Academy and Jason of Star Command.
Yeah, me too.
I totally forgot. I didn't forget about them, but I don't even know if the DVDs are widely available now or something. But yeah, I got to go back because we got Jonathan Harris on there, and then you've got James Doohan on the other. Yeah, we gotta maybe that's the next. Is that the next podcast?
Possibly.
Maybe,
who knows? The shows they left Shazam and ISIS behind for too. At that.
Right. Right.
Which I always thought was interesting when the way they'd say, "Oh well, the shows were getting too expensive, so let's do a futuristic show." What?
Right. Exactly.
I don't know. Oh well. But we're here talking Filmation 77, and this is a very straightforward story. This time around, we're not dealing with a Joker that wants a particular item or ruling Gotham or anything. He just wants revenge on Batman for putting him in prison the last time he was in prison.
Jailbreak. Close all gates. Guards, report to your stations. Jailbreak in cell block C. Jailbreak.
Here I am.
Over here.
Come on now.
Try and find me.
Over there. Get the lights over there.
Roses are red and violets
are blue. You won't find me.
You haven't a clue.
Roses are red.
And violets are... Hello down there. I want to thank you for a not
So pleasant stay.
It's the Joker. After him.
Sorry, gentlemen.
But my Joker plane is here, and I must be leaving. One last thing. I have a message for Batman. Tell him I haven't forgotten who put me here in jail. Tell Batman that I shall devote myself to making him the laughing stock of Gotham City.
Did you get a sense from this one that there was more of like, I know we don't get the Riddler in this series. We get the pink costumed Riddler at the beginning. He's never in the show because there's the whole Super Friends thing. We talked about that before. But you get a sense like if they were like, maybe they wanted a Riddler story and couldn't use a Riddler. So, Joker's close enough, jokes and riddles. So this one plays out like more of a Riddler story to me than a Joker story.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was commissioned first as a Riddler story with the thought we're going to do a Riddler story. And then they realized they couldn't. Kind of like, back in the 66 show when, they had the Riddler story. I believe the Puzzler was originally supposed to be a Riddler story. And then it was repurposed when they couldn't get Frank Gorshin.
Okay, so maybe they had the script ahead of time and they're, it's not going to work. Make it the Joker. So, yeah, it just seems like the Joker's, I don't know. I like having him here, but yeah, it just seems like this isn't in his element because he's giving Batman and Robin clues to link to he just doesn't really do that. He's just more about like chaos and menace and all those kind of things. The Riddler does the other stuff, but it's fine. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, there's a jailbreak. There's the Joker plane,
which is
like a helicopter.
Yeah.
And haven't we said this like 1,000 times? This series cries out for a toy line. Like it's the toy line that never happened that should have happened. Like there should have been a Joker plane. There should have been the Mego was probably the Mego Batman figures in the Batcave. That's probably about as close as we got in this realm. But I almost like even went now, like just like the scale, like we talked about the aspects of the cave, and we'll get into another aspect of Wayne Manor we didn't know about before. And there's so many cool things. But yeah, Joker plane would have been cool.
Joker plane would have been cool, but like it would have been cool if it was a plane too. As soon as he said, "Here comes my Joker plane," I thought of you and Dan Greenfield, and I'm like going, "Okay, here we go. This is going to be really awesome." And then a helicopter pulls in, and I mean, it's decked out like the Joker theme, but I'm like, that's not a plane. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of stuff was like the copters back then, right? Because even the 66 series had the Batcopter, and the Mego line had the Batcopter. I mean, because you get the propeller action thing going. I mean, I think it just like everything was copters back then. It just seemed so. That's probably, but they should have just called it the Joker copter, or maybe that was just too clunky. Joker plane sounds cooler. I don't know. It's still cool. I still want a toy of it.
Yeah, no,
come on,
absolutely.
Figures Toy Company. What, we only got three figures? Like a Micro Machines thing, right? The Micro Machines size. That'd be so cool.
That would be cool.
That's what I want. I keep saying that over and over. It'll never happen, but I don't know. Somebody out there custom make it and send us stuff.
There you go. There's plenty of these custom make things being done nowadays. So why not?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You mentioned riddles, and one of the riddles has something to do with where there's smoke, there's fire. So I don't know what Batman was thinking, but he's like, let's head up to the Bat Tower and check out Gotham City. And, as we've discussed before, you've got your water entrance for the Batboat, then you've got the Batcave entrance for the Batmobile. Right. And, further up the mountain, the Batplane can take off, and then right on top is Wayne Manor. But all of a sudden, we pull back a little more, and looming above the Wayne Manor is a Bat Tower with the bat symbol on it. And I thought,
where'd that thing come from? Yeah, I know. It's kind of a giveaway. But yeah, isn't it like the Shazam symbol on the RV back in Shazam? Is anybody going to wonder why there's a giant? I don't know. It's like a lighthouse looking thing, but it's a tower, like a bell tower. But yeah, giant bat on it.
Yeah.
All right, kind of a dead giveaway. Come on, World's Greatest Detective.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
And nothing high tech about it. It was just, it's a tower.
Let's put a bat on it, just in case. I know. Look again. We're putting our middle-aged man sensibilities on Saturday morning kids TV in the 70s. I know it's such a mixed bag, but it does look kind of cool. But that would be part of the play set, right?
Sure.
Put that on the play set.
Absolutely. You kidding me?
Complete with little bat on top.
Maybe
or a Lego set. Like a Lego set would be cool.
Right. Right.
Okay.
With a little spotlight on top, maybe, or something. You know.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I know. I'm just what could have been, but yeah, it just seems weird because like that thing's out of nowhere, and I'm not even sure I got the riddle of that. It's like where there's smoke, there's fire, there's smoke. I mean, I get that. We'll talk about this into the episode, but like he's trying to spell out Joker, you know, with the different things he does. But when the commissioner calls him, he's like, "Hey, Batman, have you looked outside lately?"
Yeah.
Well, how did he know? He'd see it from where that was. Like he doesn't know where the Batcave is or the Bat Tower, and I don't know. Then like he releases all these messages on paper, and how does he know? I don't know. Seems very specific at that point.
Did you notice also, or maybe I just noticed it now, Filmation has a fascination with junkyards.
Yeah, I was wondering, I was going to ask you about that because we, you know, what is it? And Shazam and Isis, they're always in the junkyard. I mean, look, they had certain... Fat Albert was in the junkyard. That's right. Yeah. Like, what was up with that? Like, did they think like we were all playing in junkyards and then we'd relate to that? Or like what? I guess. You know, I meant we should do some research on this. Like, what was Filmation? What was Lou Scheimer's obsession with junkyards?
I know. I mean, I guess maybe because they thought because it offers this endless possibilities for adventure. I don't know, or danger or death if you fall the wrong way. I don't know.
Wasn't there junkyards? And then like I always think like the Incredible Hulk in the 70s, like they're always like in car crushers.
Sure,
like that was another big thing. They're always like wherever like auto graveyards were in car crushers and things. Like yeah, I guess it may be a cheap place to film for the live action stuff. And I don't know. I guess maybe because of Fat Albert, did they have all because they utilized the same backgrounds over and over. Yes. Was that it? That they just had all those painted junkyard backgrounds and just set everything there for budget purposes? I don't know.
Possibly. Yeah.
I don't know. And the Joker, is that, okay, I'm going to get Batman. I'm going to burn down a junkyard? All right.
Well, that was the thing. He wasn't, according to Batman, he wasn't trying to burn the place down. He was just setting a fire to one of the cans and the sparks, which leads to the lesson, don't play with fire.
Sure. Okay. Kids, don't play with fire because you might burn down a junkyard. But why is the commissioner calling why does he call the Gotham Fire Department?
I know, right?
What's Batman going to do? He doesn't have the Bat fire truck. He's not going to anyway. I would think the fire department should show up because the whole thing's a raging inferno at the junkyard.
It's funny you mentioned that. I just read an old, and I forget the issue number, but it was a Batman or detective comic with the Bat fire truck, where Batman moonlighted as a firefighter for like 3 weeks. Okay,
we're gonna have to dig that one out and maybe post it somewhere. Yeah,
definitely.
I don't recall that, but it certainly didn't happen in this one because he didn't bring the Bat fire truck with him on this one. But I thought, but it does set up like the child in danger. First of all, where are the parents of these kids? There's a kid in it.
Batman. A man asked me to give this to you.
Thank you. I couldn't wait, so please pursue. Pagliacci's my favorite, and it's also your clue.
What's a Pagliacci?
It's a very famous opera.
It's the story of a clown. No wonder the Joker likes it. Tell me about the man who gave you this.
Well, Spot and I were playing over there. Where's my dog?
Great balls of fire. That dog's in trouble.
And they're always out there in junkyards with their dog.
With the dog, and the dog gets lost, so we got to have that rescue thing with Batman.
Yeah, and it's night, so where are the parents of these kids? Anyway, but yeah, it does lead to a cool moment where there's like a cool dog rescue. And the dog's cute. I like him. He's like wagging his tail and stuff. And Batman there's some cool animated moments with Batman rescuing the dog. I thought that was pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And later on we get Batmite riding the dog, which I thought was cute.
Oh yeah. That was, there's a lot the callbacks to the dog. This kid gets around. Like, is he homeless? Where does he live? Does he live in the junkyard? And he's like, what was he, fishing, I think, at one point or something? And I don't know, where's this kid's family? I don't know. Anyway.
And what I also love about this, there's a lot of 66 nods in this one, whether it's, the whole thing with Pagliacci, and that was in the 66 series at one point, even though Joker doesn't dress up as Pagliacci this time, he dresses up as Batman.
Batman? What are you doing here?
Why, I'm here to make you laugh, Commissioner. Always leave them laughing.
It's laughing gas. I can't help myself. I don't know what's...
Commissioner.
Officer, arrest that man.
Batman?
That's right. I want Batman arrested.
Arrested? Holy false imprisonment!
Suffer and shatter.
Right. He does a pretty good Batman imitation.
Yes, he
I'll
does.
give him that. He pulls that off pretty well. But I thought of that too, because that was an episode. Yeah, because didn't the Joker dress up like Pagliacci and the thing? And that was like I remember like a really creepy vision of that. Like with Cesar Romero, is that like that was really kind of weird.
Yeah.
I remember in the 66 series, as weird as the 66 series got, I thought that was one of the weirder moments. Basically what the Joker's trying to do is, like we said, spell out Joker, which again is a very much a Riddler plot. Although it works better, I think, for Joker because it would have taken forever to spell out Riddler. So it works out for us. But so Junkyard Jay, is that the best he could do with Jay? Like, what about jewelry? He could do jewelry, like a jewelry heist. That would have helped. Anyway.
But see, that's just it. He wasn't stealing anything. Everything was chaos. Whether it was that or the elephants that get loose, which was another bit I loved.
Set a jewelry store on fire then. The
elephant with the clue on it, and then at the bottom it says "to be continued" on other elephant. And I'm like, that's like right out of 66.
Yes. That's the humor, the sort of, those are the puns that come in there. So yeah, we got the junkyard, the opera, we mentioned with the Spanish singer, Mucho Gusto.
That's out of 66 too. I could see them pulling that one off.
Yeah. Which actually means, I think it means nice to meet you.
Yes.
Mucho Gusto.
Mucho Gusto,
with
yeah.
Spanish singer, nice to meet you. Okay. Another one of these things where it's like, somebody thinks the dynamic duo are dastardly or maybe Batgirl's. Commissioner is really quick to arrest these folks. Like, does he not recall how much they've helped him in the past? First thing he does is like he arrests him, and then the next scene is like dun 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 dun, and then it's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, Batman. I should have." I'm like, "Yeah, he's Batman. Why would he?" And you just told him the Joker escaped. I don't know. I'm worried about the Commissioner in some of these episodes. I mean, he might. I'm wondering if there's any bottles in his desk there at headquarters.
Yeah, there's he's not the fanboy like he is in 66, where Batman can do no wrong.
Right. Yeah, he arrests him all the time. oh yeah, this Commissioner's a little bit different. So so we got J.O. there, and then and then the story proceeds from there. So Batgirl, we got Batgirl in this one. Yes. Which is kind of cool. And sort of another nod is like people being blindfolded as they're taken to the Batcave so they don't know. I'm surprised didn't he used to use like the bat gas? Yes. He used to, maybe that was a little
too much.
Maybe that was too much. Yeah. Especially that wouldn't play well these days, but it's like, don't gas anybody, just blindfold in there. Yeah. But you think Batgirl would have figured things out by now, but anyway.
Well, what's interesting is they take her to the Batcave and she asks if she can remain behind while she works. And they trust her enough for that. I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, Batgirl might start wandering around and checking things out.
Well, you push a button and you could probably go up to Wayne Manor or the Bat Tower, and it leaves her there with Batmite, right? So you're not afraid of Batmite's going to tell anything? Or maybe she could just like walk right out the front door and figure out where she's at. I don't know. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Suspension of disbelief. But it's nice to see Batgirl, and it's always nice to see Batmite, in love with her, mooning over,
I got to admit, though, I miss the whole, like you said, junkyard, opera, J.O. I miss that as she's putting the words up there, junkyard, opera. I thought she was going the password plus route, and we were going to have to solve the puzzle.
Nice, deep 70s game show cut. Yeah. Now, it was just random things. I get maybe that's the Joker aspect of it, just the chaos of just random things. But yeah, it's not zoo, so he's not spelling zoo. He's spelling kangaroo, and elephant.
Yes.
So we get, at least we get joke out of it. But yeah, it does make for some pretty cool moments in the zoo with, the sight gags with the messages on the elephants and everything. So yeah, she figures it out. So I do like that they brought her in on this one, and that she's actually helping them out instead of just being a damsel in distress on some of these. Some episodes they just leave her out altogether.
She's helpful. Batmite is helpful as he tries to rescue Robin in the which is another thing I also thought was interesting. This is the second time in this series where the villain has sent either our heroes or one of our heroes just away. I'm going to put you in a train and send you off. Yeah. That's it. That's my way of handling. Before it was Penguin when he sent Batman and Robin up north,
right.
Yeah. But yeah, Batmite gets to also be, useful as he rides the dog chasing after the train. And then, eventually, he kind of loses it and Robin has to save him there. But okay. But he tries.
Yeah. And we've said this a million times. It's like Batmite does come to the rescue. I don't know why people have such a problem with Batmite. I think the series redeems him more than anything. You didn't see Scrappy Doo doing all this. So
no.
I just say Batmites, he helps him out in this one and the next one we'll talk about too. But yeah, kidnapping Robin, that's the R in Joker. So he spells it out. And speaking of Joker, I love Lenny Weinrib as the Joker, but in this particular episode, they had he does the Joker laugh, which is pretty cool. But then they just sort of put it on a loop a lot, and it fills in a lot of the scenes. And I think that was a mistake on the editor's part, where the laugh does become a bit much at times.
Yeah.
So that gets a little grating, but I do love the hyena. his hyena buddy comes in. That's always cool to see that.
Mm-hmm. And no henchman or sidekick this time around.
No. So yeah, that's another unusual thing, because usually they get out and was there no school to go to? Usually there's a school for villainous sidekicks, and they get these, or the henchmen that have their names written on the t-shirts or something like that. No, he's just him and the hyena in this one.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. I have to admit, though, when he does capture Robin, I don't know. I'm just so triggered these days with Joker and Rob. I've been watching Titans, and they've gotten up to the part where he, basically beats the hell out of Jason Todd in it. Yeah. And I don't know, when they were like, I've got Robin, I'm like going, oh no, this isn't going to end well. But it's like, no, it's 77 Filmation. He's just going to put him in a train and send him off.
Yeah, we can't do anything. Well, even up to the 90s when they were doing Batman the Animated Series, it's like they couldn't use guns and they couldn't do things. Oh no, you got to be careful on these ones. So harmless villainy, right, I suppose, in this one. But I mean, thank goodness we mentioned the helium paint before. So it's basically the same. I don't know what Batman's application was going to be for this. Like, he was invent something, and then I don't know what he was going to do with it. But thank goodness he did, because then, basically we have this whole chase on the train, which I thought was pretty cool. I thought this whole, train sequence, was playing out pretty cool. And then obviously you have the bridge is out and the train is heading for the thing. So there's, oh no, how are they going to get out of this one?
Well, Joker, we meet again. The throttle's broken. We can't stop.
That girl calling Batman. The bridge is out. Stop the train.
We can't stop. The control's broken. Batgirl, can you drop me the helium paint that Batman gave you?
I'm on my way.
Of course, helium paint, right?
Yes.
You paint it, and then it just floats.
That's it.
Because that's what helium paint does. Mm-hmm. So the train flies over the broken bridge.
Flies over the broken bridge, and then can be controlled by Batman, who takes him to prison with it.
Yes. Of course. That was his plan all along, right?
Right.
He knew. See, that's the world's greatest detective coming in. He's just like, I know this is going to come in handy in this.
Well, Joker, we're going to fly you non-stop right back to jail. Oh, be quiet.
If there's ever a train chase sequence where I have to levitate a train. So that was pretty cool. But I mean, you do have a lot. I mean, so we do get out of the junkyard though in this one. We do go to the zoo. We get, we go to the opera. We do get a lot of different scenes in this particular episode, which I thought was pretty cool. I thought the animation was okay in these ones. I was cool with a lot of animals. I'm full disclosure, I always have these on in the background. Now I'm watching the elephants just crashing through the zoo and doing things. I thought that stuff was pretty cool. It puts them in different environments. Yes. For different types of rescues that they have. And I thought that was pretty cool. And I like the team splitting up. One of them, a couple of them working at the Batcave. Batman and Robin are out in the field. Batgirl and Batmite are playing password plus back there trying to figure it all out. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good script.
Yeah, no, I did.
I thought it was a pretty solid script.
I agree. I totally agree. It was just a lot of fun. And it went by really quick, which is something else too. Like you don't find granted, it's only a 20-minute, thing, 21, 22 minutes or whatever. But like this one just went by nice. It's smooth. And other than the laughter, and I agree, I had that note as well. Just the looped laughter being just repeated was a bit too much. It was fun. I would definitely recommend, like, out of these. Well, I mean, we haven't really been down on any. There have been a couple of episodes we've been like, all right, this is a bit much, but still, we had fun watching it. So,
and there's a play with the Batmobile, like different aspects of the Batmobile. I mean, apparently they keep the stereo speakers in the headlights.
Yes.
Who knew? As we go through there, but they get played some circus music and got the elephants together.
Yes.
We got, I would have dialed the laughter back too. But again, like you mentioned too, like with Batmite, he's always there helping. Mm-hmm. And he does get to ride a dog in this one, like a horse. So Spot, the return of the kid and Spot, they sort of, return the favor for being rescued. Spot helps out Batmite. So there's a lot of cool stuff in there. I don't think you needed all the henchmen. I don't think you needed a ton of characters. There's a lot going on. It's a good Riddler story in the disguise of a Joker story who disguises himself as Batman in the story.
Yeah. There you go.
Nice. There's a lot of disguises.
And now these messages.
When you unwrap a McDonald's hamburger, you get fun in a bun.
Fun, fun, fun.
In a bun. Why did the McDonald's hamburger take a shortcut in the race? Why? Because he needed the ketchup. Ketchup? Oh, offer.
Fun in a bun.
Why was the McDonald's hamburger embarrassed?
Why?
Because it had nothing on it.
How do you know when a McDonald's hamburger likes you? Okay, how? When it flips for you.
Fun in a bun.
Why did the McDonald's hamburger leave suddenly? Because he was ordered to go. I don't get it.
We call a McDonald's hamburger that can carry a tune.
What?
A hamburger.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why are you doing that, Ronald? Because you can always count on McDonald's for fun in a bun. Get it?
At McDonald's, hamburgers are so much fun.
Ahoy, kids. Sugar Bear here, bringing you my crisp and yummy Super Sugar Crisp. Missed the waterfall. Now my motor stalled.
Sugar Bear's in trouble.
Somebody turn off the water.
We'll save you with our kite.
Out of sight.
Hold on tight.
Lucky for me, millions of kids love my crisp and yummy Post Super Sugar Crisp cereal. Part of a nutritious breakfast.
Yay, Super Sugar Crisp.
Crisp and yummy. Yummy for your tummy.
Yeah, all right.
That message.
Batmite, you certainly were a real hero today. Now close your eyes. I have something for you. All right, open.
You know, Batmite, for each hero, there are usually a lot of others who helped. They're the unsung heroes.
I think we should all take turns wearing this. One more thing. See you next week.
Not all heroes get the recognition they deserve, I think was something Adam was saying there at one point, but it got lost in all the silliness with Batmite.
Yeah, he kind of mentions it, but it says like Bat message, but there's really no Bat message. It's just like, I think even in this one, they were like, yeah, these aren't that great. Let's just not even worry about one. But it is a cool moment in that, in which, because of his heroic deeds, and we say this a million times, Batmite, all he wants to do is help, and he does. Mm-hmm. He does. And Batgirl gives him a hero pin, which, and he gets a kiss out of it. So that's all he wanted.
Yep. Yep. And then he suggests passing the hero pin around. And I think that's when Adam was saying not everybody gets the recognition, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. There was almost like some message in there, but it wasn't like this specific Bat message or something.
Right.
And it was cool that Batmite breaks the fourth wall too. And he's like, see you next week.
Yes.
All right, I'll see you next week. You know. Yeah, it's a cute episode. I like it.
Yeah.
I like Batmite in this one. And, you know, we get another almost dropping his pants gag in it too. So that's cool. And there's like speaking of breaking fourth wall, Joker even does that too. Like there's this creepy thing where he's up on a telephone pole, breaking into communication, trying to monitor their communication, and he like turns to the audience.
Yes.
That's really creepy too. So I don't know. There are some creepy Joker moments in it. He does he's not just Riddler-fied in this one.
Yeah. Now, if this had been like an episode of the Archies with Joker and he did that look, you'd get a laugh track then there of the audience laughing at him, you know?
Exactly.
All right, then that'll bring us then to the end of this episode here. Before we go, though, Joe, what's happening over at Comic Book Central?
Oh, well, thank you for asking, my friend. It's a lot of fun stuff at Comic Book Central. Launched year 9 of the show, so 400 episodes in. I think I'm just going to take a little bit of a break. So instead of that crazy weekly schedule, which gets to be, as you know, a little overwhelming at times, dialed it back a little bit. I'm trying to hit about like maybe 2 episodes a month.
Okay.
But still a lot of great quality. I mean, kicked the year off with Andrea Romano, the great Andrea Romano, the voice director for like everything DC animated. So we talked a lot about DC animation history in that one. And speaking of Batmite, I mean, well, first of all, I've been doing some Lost in Space stuff, which I always like to do. So Russell Hornsby has been on the show. He's an actor who was in season 3 of the Lost in Space Netflix series. To talk to him. And then writer Richard Dinnick, he does the Lost in Space comics. But in talking to Richard Dinnick, Batmite comes up. Like we do talk about Batmite. You have to listen to the episode to figure it out. He calls him Batfink. He's like, Batfink. And I'm like, Batmite? And he's like, yeah. So we talk about Batmite. And even he was like, hey, he's better than Scooby-Doo or Scrappy-Doo, you know. So some Batmite. And then Michael Uslan, the great Batman film producer. He's executive produced every Batman film. His 3rd time to the show. So Michael Uslan, friend of the show. We talk about Batmite. But now, that one's maybe a little easier lift with the guy who gave us the Batman movies. But we talk about Batmite. So I love talking about Batmite in any form or fashion. So I worked it into a few episodes. So those are out there as well. A lot more surprises coming up. I'm actually talking to Treat Williams from the 1996 Phantom film, The Phantom.
Wow.
With Billy Zane.
I love that movie.
I just watched it again last night in preps, and I really, it's a cool movie. It's in that 90s realm of like Rocketeer, The Shadow, The Phantom. They didn't do as well at the box office, so we didn't get a bunch of them. But I think they've sort of have a cult following now. Mm-hmm. And so people really like these films. So I'm kind of doing a dive into The Phantom. A lot of cast members there. I'm going through. One of them has a Lost in Space connection. So I'm going to, you guys can Google and you might be able to figure it out. But I want to definitely do that. More Lost in Space, hopefully. More Phantom as we go through. More Bat chats as always. So yeah, there's always something fun going on at comicbookcentral.net.
Yes, comicbookcentral.net. And of course, you know, any of your great podcast streamers there, you can also find the show as well.
Much appreciated.
Sure. Okay, then, folks, stay tuned. Joe and I will be back pretty soon. We're going to be taking on Mr. Freeze in the episode Deep Freeze. And just quick spoiler, much better than he was in 1967 Filmation. we're going to have fun with this one.
Let me get my park on. I got to make sure I stay warm during this episode.
Yeah, I know. It's got a bit of a chill to it there. So until then, folks, thank you so much for listening. Once again, Joe, everyone, take care.